Welcome to the Warp. I'm Jack Rita. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Cosmic Bucket List number 2, which we have on the Future Pastimes website blog, and there's a link for it in the description. So go check that out. And what do we have on here? Well, we have, again, more win achievements, alien achievements, and encounter achievements that you should be striving to achieve in your games of Cosmic Encounter. Many of these I have achieved. I'm going to go over them. I'll tell you a little bit about the circumstances in which they happen. So our first one is win solo against 7 players. So that's an 8-player game. And the more players you have in a game of Cosmic Encounter, the more likely you are to see a shared win. It is a tall order for you to be able to beat 7 players because you will probably have to encounter all 7 of those players. Whoever you are attacking, they're going to invite everybody who's going to send along as many ships as they can, because why wouldn't they? It's for the win. So if you can pull off that solo win in an 8-player game, that is clearly an achievement that you should be able to scratch off on your bucket list and hope to do. So everyone who plays Cosmic Encounter with me knows that I prefer a shared win over a shared loss, so I'm not afraid to bring other people along for the win. But if I think I can go for it, I definitely do. Most recently, I was able to pull it off as the Tortoise in an 8-player game. And that is an alien who's pretty well positioned to be able to pull that off. Although the downside of Tortoise in an 8-player game is that you're not getting too many starts of your turn in order for you to pick up some extra rewards. I lucked out. I think I went second in that game, and I was able to have a second turn before the game ended, and then I did my run as the Tortoise, and I went for it. I caught up, and then I went for it, and I won that game against 7 people. And yeah, I had a really good attack card. I had a kicker, had a bunch of reinforcements, and it was just enough. It was a very explosive encounter, but it was just enough for me to eke out the win. We also have a win while having no home colonies. So that also means that you don't have an alien power unless you're playing with one of those few alien powers that doesn't lose for having too few home colonies. But most of the time, if you don't have any home colonies, then yeah, you have a significant handicap. The one time I can remember having done that was I was Amoeba. And I stripped all of my home colonies on that last encounter, going for the win. I think it was a shared win, however, but yeah, I had 0 home colonies on that one, and it was a big gamble because I might have been closer to having all of my ships in the warp for that one, which is the next one. So it's, yeah, win after having all ships in the warp. Now, this is one achievement that I don't believe I have ever met, because I can't think of a time where I actually had all of my ships in the warp. I know I've come close many times. I came very close on the last campaign that I played in, and that was because one of the achievements was to have the most ships in the warp. So close to the end there, I was like, that's a lot of points. I'm going for it. So I was recklessly going for it. And this win achievement here, this is not, it doesn't count if you win as masochist, because that's the whole point. You're winning after you've done this. And yeah, if you want to check it off as masochist, because I have won as masochist on a couple of occasions, but the challenge here is when you're not trying to get all of your ships in the warp, you have still managed to win. And so it's the comeback. It's the ultimate comeback victory. You were considered down and completely out, but you came back and went for it. So under the alien achievements, we've got a couple of achievements that they're both related to the gambler, and they're also very similar. So the first one is to bluff the attack 40th gambler. All that just means is that you put the card down. And how does gambler work? Well, I'm glad you asked. Gambler is an alien who puts their, as a main player, puts their encounter face down, just like everyone else. But then the other player in the reveal phase reveals theirs, while Gambler does not reveal theirs. And after Gambler has seen what their opponent has revealed, Gambler then declares the value of their encounter card. Now, the other player has the option of agreeing with that declaration. And if they do, you just proceed as if that's the card. And when it comes time to discard it, they put it face down at the bottom of the deck so that nobody gets to see what it is. and you may never know what that card was. Their other option, of course, is they can call your bluff, and then you reveal it, and there are penalties depending on whether or not Gambler is telling the truth. So if Gambler was bluffing, then they're going to lose some ships, and if they were telling the truth, then the other player is going to lose some ships. So the idea is that after that person has revealed their card, you as Gambler say, this is the attack 40. And that's it. You just got to have the nerve to go for it on the attack 40. But the other achievement here is to reveal the attack 40 after having your bluff called. So you said it was the attack 40. They said you're full of it, and then you flip it over, and voila, there it is. And the best time to try these achievements is when somebody knows that you have the attack 40. And beyond you just saying, hey, I've got the attack 40, but maybe you've taken it as compensation, and so now everybody knows, or some other effect has let you gain it in such a way as it is not utterly secret that it's in your hand. So yes, you could maybe bluff that a couple of times. We know in the last bucket list video, somebody ended up bluffing the 30 a couple of times, and that is good times, but let's take it up to 11, or actually plus 10 to attack 40. And then finally, we have some encounter achievements. So our first one is to win an encounter with double-digit negative encounter total. What does that even mean? Well, it means that you have to have a negative encounter total that's at least negative 10 or higher, and then still win. And this is one that I know that I've done on a couple of occasions. And once was against Loser, and for that, I had the kicker -1, and I'd end up playing, I think it was a 30, with the kicker -1, and when the loser had declared an upset, and that gave me a negative 30. And that kicker actually works on both revealed encounter cards, so a little extra surprise. There, I just had to hope that the other player didn't play a 30 or a 40, and they didn't. They ended up playing like a 6. So they had a -6, I had a negative 30. That is double-digit negative. The other time was I had, again, I had a kicker. I had a regular kicker, and I had an attack -7, and I think it was the kicker times 3. So I ended up with a -21, and it was against Antimatter, and we won that one handily. So that was a couple of different examples of how you can pull off that achievement. Then we have Morph versus Morph. Now, I've done everything I can to help players to reach that achievement. There are now 5 morphs, if I've done my math right, and math is not my strongest area, but you have a morph in the base game. There's one in Cosmic Incursion's reward deck. There's one in the large group cards from Cosmic Alliance. There's another one in the Cosmic Dominion reward deck, and there's one in the Cosmic Odyssey Ultra rewards, and there might be even one in the regular rewards. I don't remember. I'd have to look that up. Somebody, I'm sure, will post a comment. You'd think that I would know, but I got a lot of plates spinning right now, so there's at least 5. So it's much, much easier now than it was 10 years ago to try to do morph versus morph. And of course, if you do have 2 morphs revealing in an encounter, both sides lose. We did have that at the Galactic Championship at Escape Velocity a few years ago. In the finale game, if I remember correctly, there was a great morph versus morph reveal. There were a lot of players and ships involved in that, and they all went to the warp. And then, of course, our last one here is 4 or more zaps in a row. So that's where you have, Cosmic Zap, Card Zap, Omni Zap. And now there's another Omni Zap. So you can definitely go at least 5. And you've got the repeater is also an Odyssey artifact that lets you repeat an artifact that's been played. So it would let you do another card zap. So yeah, it's certainly achievable. I don't think we're asking for too much to get you to have 4 in a row all in the same encounter. And not just it happened in the same encounter, but the same effect that you are zapping and trying to stop the zap and then stop, and zap, 4 times, 4 or more. If you have achieved any of these things, let me know in the comments. I like hearing about these kinds of cosmic encounter stories of legend and yore. And we're going to be doing more and more bucket lists. There's probably an infinite number and infinite possibilities, or possibilites, for those of you who know what that means. So yeah, that's it for this video. You can get that printed out, save it however you want, and keep track of those. Let me know when you have checked every box on one of our bucket lists. And yeah, tell us the stories of how you managed to pull that off, because that's what Cosmic Encounter is all about. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.